My name's Anton, and this is my wife Debbie. We have an autistic son Jack, who's 6.5 this year. We moved up to Whangarei here 7 years ago. Autism isn't something we ever thought we would come across.
Jack has a twin brother Matthew and an older sister Jessie, and we love living up here in Whangarei, and we've found the support has been excellent. You know, we've found different ways of getting support through different people as our families aren't up here.
I was just on the internet looking at services that may be available to us as a family and may not be. Came across an 0800 number for NorthAble. Had an idea of where we wanted to head with some help, but was very quickly advised that the service we were looking for, top of the range, we would be referred to the Navigator service. So I saw an online referral, and from there things snowballed quite quickly from that initial phone call to NorthAble.
My name's Amanda Van, and I've been a navigator now for about 18 months. I see the role of a navigator as an independent support person for a family who is experiencing challenges and have lost capacity to cope with it on their own.
In terms of our family, we'd gone as far as we could with what I could do and what the family could do. I knew we needed some help. There are experts in any field, whether it was the Navigator, which we came across, or something else out there. It was more, I had a plan for where we needed to go with a special needs son, and I really needed someone to tell me, yep, you're on the right track, or no, you're not. And that's really how we got involved in the Navigator service. Was the family was at the end of, there were no more options.
Right. I went and saw Deb and Anton at home, and with all these ideas already of what I was going to say and how I was going to do it, and I really got the impression when I started talking to them that they really felt as though through the process of special education that their little guy had got lost along the way, and rather than being overwhelmed by that and too tired to fight, they were very motivated, and they set out wanting to change that system because they had become so fed up with it.
We had a lot of intense meetings at the time with the school, particularly battling special needs stereotype within the schooling system in New Zealand. And it was refreshing having someone who had been exposed to that, who knew the system, who was part of board of trustees, and they were very clearly able to listen to my goals and say, yep, you're not being unrealistic, because that's quite important, and we can do this.
You can adapt the navigation role to fit the family according to what they need at the time. Sometimes you're a support person, sometimes you're an advocate, other times you're a coordinator and an overseer of services, just depending on what they need.
Yeah, we really needed someone who was impartial as well. Anton and I both had our strong views and some opposing views about what we thought was right for Jack and what was happening with him with starting his schooling. But we also needed just someone to see what someone thought about our views as well, to see if we were on the right track, just to have that reassurance about things that we were able to do and things that we were probably getting a little bit out of our reach. So it was very good to have someone to talk to about that.
I think it meant that someone was listening to them, and they didn't have to fight me to understand what they wanted to see happen. And I felt that they felt that they'd had to fight in the past to have people listen and understand where they were coming from. And it was really, I think, probably somebody to clarify processes and what different professional roles were and appropriate pathways to get a good outcome.
We're never about winning a losing war or changing the world's attitudes. It was more, we need to get the job done for our boy, but we have certain standards too that we we will not lower our goals,
Right.
no matter what the system says. So the Navigator was really able to be a link between reality, my vision, and ultimately we're a family of 5, not just Jack.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No point Jack succeeding in us having a relationship
Yeah.
breakup. So
Exactly.
all those things in hindsight
Yeah.
have been an offspin of the Navigator
Yeah.
service for us.
It was for 3 months,
Yes.
and I think it was for 4 hours a week.
Right.
And we didn't use the whole 3 months. Yeah, so we managed to achieve that plan in less than the 3 months.
It's basically been a year since we've been involved in the Navigator service. I'm actually struggling to find anything that's wrong with the goals we set out to achieve last year. I'm clutching at straws now to find areas that I want improvement in. And the Navigator service has certainly kickstarted the attitude change within the schooling system.
Right. Great.
We
Yes,
can't
yes.
finger who did what, where, why,
Yeah.
but it's happening. And I firm believer without the Navigator service in there with us, we wouldn't be where we are. Definitely.
I think it's changed the culture of the school as
Wonderful.
well. You can see they were travelling along a nice path, but we've definitely upped it. And you can see that the culture of the school has changed.
When I finished working with that family, I felt as though Deb and Anton and I had built up something of a friendship actually. We got on very well, and I felt pretty confident that they would move forward and just continue on that path that we had set together.
It's just been wonderful. You know, it's really taken the weight off our shoulders.
Right.
You know, it's made our relationship a lot more stable. It's made the whole family a lot happier.
It's a great service when we met it.
Yeah.
In fact, I've said 6 months into meeting Amanda,
Yes.
I'd like to become a Navigator. It's that simple
Right.
because you get to make a difference.
Right.
And that's quite powerful.